If you're looking for a piece of property where you can really stretch your legs, this could be the place. Coldstream Ranch, it's huge. When you add the 7,400 acres that's owned to the 40,000 acres that they manage under permit, well, there's enough land here to fit in the city of Regina twice. And calling this place just a ranch is sort of like calling Wayne Gretzky just a hockey player.
Ted Osborne is the ranch manager, just like his dad was before him. That's one thing the ranch comes with, tradition that dates back 128 years.
And the original Crimean War grant of Captain Houghton is right in the center of the valley here.
Charles Houghton claimed his military land grant of 1,450 acres, even though he never actually made it to the Crimean battleground. He started the Coldstream story. Margaret Ormsby is the historian who collected it in a book.
Well, Colonel Houghton was an Irishman. He enjoyed the leisurely life that went with owning land and having a few cattle and not producing anything from the soil.
Charles Houghton wouldn't recognize the place today.
Above which we have our spring and fall range on both sides of the valley.
A half dozen modern cowhands work here now, and they've injected a large dose of efficiency into the old enterprise. Mind you, there are still cowboys working with gear that Houghton would recognize. And the cows look the same, except now there are 5,000 of them for the cowboys to round up, on enough land to get even experienced cowhands like Pat McDermott turned around.
But I guess you've traveled pretty well every acre of this ranch so far.
Oh, I think there's lots I've missed. It's big, so yeah, you learn more country every time you go out.
When the stray cattle do wander home from the hills, it's usually for food. And there's no shortage of that.
East and west of the main buildings is our forage land in which we grow our corn silage and alfalfa hay.
That might look like a mountain of sawdust to you, but it's dinner to a cow. Corn silage, and it's all grown on the ranch, just like the tons of alfalfa and hay it takes to keep 5,000 hungry cattle fed. The ranch also comes with 5,000 wild ducks, but they're just here for the winter and their share of that corn and alfalfa. The property comes with about 36 buildings, from barns to sheds to ancient bunkhouses to homes for the hired hands. Of the 14 permanent employees, 12 live on the ranch, and that includes the manager, Ted Osborne.
So it essentially is not really an extended family operation, but family related. So our employees have been here, some of them up to 30 years. Our average employee is here 10 years or more.
And, this being the Okanagan, a few fruit trees come with the property.
Over here is one of our orchards. We also have another orchard on the south side of the valley.
It was Aberdeen who had the vision of the fruit ranch, as he called it, changing from the cattle ranch to the fruit ranch.
That's Lord Aberdeen. When he and his family bought Coldstream in 1891, they brought a great sense of vision and a horrible sense of business.
Each year he was going to make money. Try something else and make money then. And he never did make money, just went down the drain all the time.
Nothing like some eccentric spendthrift nobility to add to the land value. 26,000 apple trees don't hurt either.
So about how many tons of apples would you produce in a year?
Between 1.75 and 2.25 million pounds of apples a year.
And at Coldstream, even trees without fruit get harvested. It's a timber ranch, too.
And further to on the south side is our forest resource.
In the hills that surround the ranch, there are 2,450 acres of trees to harvest. And 2,000 feet above the valley floor, there's even a whole different climate for them to grow in. Meanwhile, another Coldstream product is being harvested from underneath the soil.
Gravel are located, gravel resources or lenses are located in the central part of the valley.
The gravel pits are busy these days with all new homes and roads being built in the Okanagan. But the gravel business has a history almost as old as Coldstream itself.
They realized the importance of the gravel pit when the Canadian National Railways put in the spur line to Lumbee. And over the years, I think it's brought in a lot of money, that gravel pit.
Gravel doesn't really qualify as a crop, but just about every other thing that would has been raised at Coldstream.
And the pigs, nobody wanted to work with hogs. That was dropped.
Ted's father, Bill Osborne, remembers the days when they needed a catalog just to keep track.
The plums and prunes were experimental. They thought they'd have a jam factory, but it didn't succeed. And then cherries, they were experimenting with cherries, the sweet and the sour, our quince, currants. Well, strawberries, raspberries, gooseberries, blackberries, everybody was experimenting to see what would grow and what would sell.
Experiment is a word you hear a lot around Coldstream. Mostly it stems back to the great expensive experiment of Lord Aberdeen. He spent money on every conceivable crop and lost a fortune.
Lord Aberdeen had, I think it was $25 million at his age. After he got through with this great experiment, which went on for a long time, he left an estate that was valued only at $204.
That's why in 1906, Lord Aberdeen sold to James Buchanan, Lord Willavington, who promptly handed ownership to his daughter. After she died recently, the family decided to put all their Canadian properties, including Coldstream, on the market. That's a big event in this valley, because Coldstream didn't just bring animals and crops and industry, it brought people, settlers of substance, as Lord Aberdeen described them, and the money he spent encouraging them to come is still paying off.
It did introduce people who might never have come to British Columbia, public school boys and people of substance, and it set a tone for the area. I think you can feel the effect of that tone in Vernon still.
Where do you feel it?
I think in the fact that, for example, the theatre's always been strong here, and music's always been strong in Vernon.
Now you might think with all the activity and all the history here at the Coldstream Ranch that the people connected with the place would have some pretty strong feelings about it being sold. Well, they do.
We don't own the land, and so therefore we have to look on it from a business standpoint. And even though you can say that, you will always have a lot of feeling for the area because it's so much part of you.
What do you think about the idea that the ranch is for sale?
Oh, it's a great shame because it's been there, you know, I'm only 80, but it's been there all my life, and you feel it's a very stable part of it. You never thought of anything being different.
I think it's sad. I think it'll change the country very much. It's a beautiful valley. It's lovely to think of it as it is now.
When Lord and Lady Aberdeen bought this place 100 years ago, they paid about $230,000, and their lawyer said they'd been robbed. Well, the price these days is about $15 million for everything, lock, stock, and history.